The party stood in the chamber where the psychic horror had died, surrounded by old stone, dead echoes, and the fading memory of a dwarf striking down a mind flayer in an age none of them had lived to see. The illusion was gone. The shriek had ended. The chest sat quiet. Yet the silence that followed did not feel like peace. It felt like the temple waiting to see what else they would touch. Rowan leaned on Zarathoin's fire-touched hammer, breath slow and heavy, the glow of battle still fading from the weapon's head. Taven flexed his hands, as though testing whether they still belonged to him after the creature had tried to make thought and flesh equally uncertain. Sariel looked down the corridor with stern suspicion, already convinced that the next terrible thing was merely being polite enough to wait its turn. Aluin watched the shadows with the stillness of a forest animal sensing danger beneath the soil. Ezien glanced toward the nearest doorway.
No,
Taven said. Ezien blinked.
I did not say anything.
you looked at the door.
It might be important.
Sariel exhaled.
Every door in this place is important. That is the problem.
There was talk of rest. Only talk. The idea rose, fragile and tempting, then collapsed under the weight of memory. The party had rested in dangerous places before. Dangerous places had expressed opinions about that. Caves, hideouts, ruins, crypts, all had proven themselves unreliable hosts.
We are in an ancient dwarven temple beneath a mountain,
Sariel said.
There are dead men, psychic creatures, goat blood, and a chest that attempted to murder our minds.
But we are tired,
Ezien said.
We can be tired somewhere less theological.
Rowan looked back toward the dark.
We should not sleep here.
Aluin nodded.
Something would find us.
Something already found us.
Taven said.
Several somethings.
They took what little ease could be stolen without fully trusting the dungeon. Wounds were bound, potions passed from hand to hand, breath steadied. The darkness remained still, which in Tal Hundereth felt less like mercy and more like a delay. No creature slithered from the ceiling, no voice whispered from the chest, no ancient stone mechanism decided to test their worthiness through crushing force. For a few minutes, nothing happened.
That,
Ezien said softly.
was suspiciously pleasant.
Do not praise it.
Sariel warned. When they rose again, the temple offered them choices, and none of them were good. Ahead lay an unexplored passage. Behind lay the room of many doors, stone chairs, blood, goat bones, and the unanswered question of what had been fed there. Aluin crouched near the deeper passage and studied the dust. Her fingers brushed lightly over the floor.
Anything?
Rowan asked.
No footprints.
She said.
That is good.
Ezien offered. Taven looked toward the chamber where the psychic creature had died.
The last thing we fought did not have feet.
There was a pause.
That is less good.
Ezien admitted.
Footless things.
Sariel muttered.
Of course, we have entered the domain of footless things.
Null pods.
Taven said. Ezien turned.
What?
Null pods. No feet.
That is not what words are for.
It is now.
I prefer floaters.
Ezien said.
It is simple, descriptive.
Floaters sounds worse.
Aluin said. Sariel raised a hand.
Whatever name we use, I would prefer we not meet another one.
Naturally, they returned to the chamber most likely to contain one. The room of stone chairs waited exactly as they had left it. 4 seats faced one another in a silent square. One bore the signs of recent blood. Goat bones lay nearby, a reminder that something had been brought here and reduced to remains. The doors around the room stood like closed mouths. Ezien pointed to one.
We start there.
Why there?
Rowan asked.
Because it probably cannot lead anywhere else.
That
Taven said.
is not the same as safe.
No, but it is efficient.
Sariel folded his arms.
I would like it known that I object to the premise that every small room must be opened.
And your objection is recorded.
Ezien said.
By whom?
History.
History has enough burdens.
The first door opened onto a cell-like chamber. Stone bed, stone desk, stone stool. No treasure, no writing, no bodies. Only austerity. It felt less like a bedroom than a place where comfort had been accused of weakness and banished. Ezien stepped in, looked around and frowned.
This is not a supply closet.
Tavin looked from the bed to the desk.
It is barely a room.
A second door opened. Another chamber, another stone bed, another desk, another stool. Sariel peered in from the hall.
Behold, dwarven luxury.
Rowan touched the edge of the stone bed.
Do dwarves sleep on these?
Perhaps only the ones being punished.
Ezien said. Another door, another empty room. The pattern dulled their caution, as patterns often do. Empty quarters, forgotten cells, cold beds for people long gone. Then Sariel opened the next door and saw someone sitting inside. He did not shout. This was, for Sariel, a profound act of restraint. The chamber matched the others in shape, but not in meaning. At the desk sat a robed figure, still as a corpse and not yet kind enough to be one. Beside him hovered a small angular shape, a pyramid-like thing suspended in the air, its geometry too deliberate to be natural and too hungry to be decorative. Sariel stepped back slowly. Ezien saw his face.
What?
Sariel held up a hand.
Friends.
Tavin narrowed his eyes.
That is not a good tone.
I have found one of the tetrahedron things.
Aeluin's expression sharpened.
And
Sariel continued.
there is a man.
Behind him, the floating thing drifted out through the doorway. Tavin sighed.
It is behind you.
Sariel did not turn.
I had gathered.
The robed figure stirred. He rose with strange devotional excitement, as if the party were not intruders, but expected guests arriving late to a feast. His voice came thin and eager from behind his mask.
You have come.
Rowan lifted his hammer.
Who are you?
My name is Falfark.
Ezien frowned.
Farfark.
Falfark.
That is what I said.
It is not.
Sariel's gaze remained fixed on the hovering creature.
What are you doing here?
Falfark spread his hands as though the answer should comfort them.
Waiting with my friend. You have come for the stone. He told me you would come for the stone.
The words drew the air colder. Tavin's eyes flicked to Aeluin, then to Sariel.
He?
Falfark did not answer. His attention had shifted to the creature.
You should feed him. He must grow.
No.
Rowan said. Falfark tilted his head, considering the party like livestock.
Who is the smallest among you?
Ezien took a step back.
That seems irrelevant.
You.
Falfark said.
I am not that small.
You will do.
Tavin's voice went flat.
Friends do not feed friends to things.
Falfark smiled beneath the mask. Somehow they could hear it.
Then you do not understand friendship.
The creature attacked. It crossed the space with awful speed, angles and tendrils unfolding as it latched onto Tavin. It clung like a nightmare made physical, pressing into him, trying to make his own body a place of invasion. Tavin twisted, striking hard, but the thing shifted and held. Its surface did not move like flesh. It moved like a thought refusing correction.
Get it off him!
Aeluin shouted.
I am attempting that.
Tavin snapped, driving an elbow into it. Aeluin produced rope. The rope flew, looped, caught, and for a heartbeat it seemed like genius. Then the creature jerked, and the line tore loose from Aeluin's grip, whipping across the chamber. Tarvin glared.
You have given it a tail.
I was trying to help.
Try differently.
Falfark laughed, high and cracked.
The child hungers, the child grows.
Child of what?
Sariel demanded.
The stone.
Falfark whispered.
The stone beneath. The stone that remembers. The stone that calls.
The party answered with violence. Rowan surged forward, hammer burning with fire-touched light. Aeluin's magic bent toward keeping the creature's hunger from becoming fatal. Sariel brought sacred force into the small room until the shadows recoiled. Ezien darted for openings, blade flashing wherever the thing seemed most nearly real. Tavin struck again and again, each blow a denial. No, you will not take me. No, you will not root in me. No, you will not grow. At last the floater broke. Its body collapsed in a twitching knot of impossible shape, then stilled. Falfark did not outlive his friend by long. When the chamber fell quiet, the party searched it with care that bordered on disgust. Beneath robe and mask, Falfark's body had been warped. His face and flesh bore corruption, reminiscent of Filch. Not the same, but close enough to trouble memory. His wings were fleshy and bat-like, less a blessing than a symptom. Whether he had once been ordinary, whether he had come here willingly, whether his devotion had grown before or after his corruption, none could say. Near the desk and floor lay goat bones. Aluin looked down at them.
This is what happened to the goat.
Ezien swallowed.
He was feeding it.
Not it.
Sariel said grimly.
He called it a child.
Tavin stared at the dead floater.
Then I would rather not meet the adult.
They took Falfark's robe and mask. At first, no one spoke of why. Then Ezien held them up, studying the shape.
If there are more like him,
He said.
this might be useful.
Rowan looked unconvinced.
You want to dress as one?
I want the option.
Sariel frowned.
Masquerading as corrupted servants of an unknown power is a dangerous plan.
Ezien folded the robes.
Yes, but it is a plan.
Across the main hall, another door opened into a chamber that at first seemed ceremonial. Benches along the wall, a raised central space, intentional lines carved into the stone. But closer inspection stripped away the illusion of worship. Weapon racks, armor stands, gouges in the walls. The room had not been built for prayer. It had been built for practice. A dwarven sparring hall. Then the chamber spoke.
Kuldar Baraztron.
The words rang clear and firm, ancient dwarvish, carried by old enchantment. The party froze. Ezien looked around.
Does anyone know what that means?
Silence. Rowan's jaw tightened.
No.
Tavin closed his eyes.
Every day I regret not learning Dwarvish.
The armor stands moved. 3 suits of dwarven plate stepped down into the chamber. Empty helms turned, gauntlets flexed. Steel remembered the shape of discipline. The sparring room had accepted the party as participants. Aluin raised a hand.
Before anyone touches anything else.
Too late. The constructs advanced. Aluin called on Dispel Magic, directing the spell toward the strongest of the suits. The enchantment shuddered. For a moment, something within the armor dimmed, like a coal deprived of air. Then it steadied. The suit continued forward. Aluin lowered her hand.
That was expensive.
Sariel watched the armor lift its weapon.
And educational.
The fight that followed was strange because the constructs were not malicious. They did not hiss, hunger, bargain, or rage. They simply fought. The party had stepped onto a lesson, and the lesson had begun. Ezien darted across the raised platform, quick and clever, probing for advantage. Tavin struck, slipped back, and struck again. Rowan stood where the old dwarves had likely expected warriors to stand, meeting steel with steel.
Perhaps.
Ezien called, ducking away from a blow.
We leave?
Rowan looked toward the platform.
There is honor in meeting a challenge.
There is also sense in not being beaten to death by furniture.
They are not furniture.
They were furniture 5 seconds ago.
Doors branched from the training room, and the party, being the party, opened them. One side chamber held a battle axe resting on the floor. It looked abandoned, useful, perhaps ceremonial. Rowan tried to lift it. It did not move despite his best efforts. Not slightly, not with a scrape, not with a grudging shift. It remained in place with the absolute certainty of a mountain that had already considered the request and declined. Ezien stared.
Is it bolted down?
Rowan crouched beside it.
Maybe. Or it is waiting.
For what?
Someone worthy.
Ezien nodded gravely.
Then we should leave it for someone else.
A hallway held an old quiver and arrows. That seemed safer, but just around the corner, dust and motion. Small figures swirled within, little storm goblins of grit and spite. Around them, the air churned in miniature cyclones. At the center stood something larger, corpse-like and wrong, a shape touched by death or the infernal or some unpleasant marriage of both. Taven stared at the sight. Then he turned around.
There are whirlwind goblins in there.
Sariel blinked.
Whirlwind what?
Goblins. Made of whirlwind.
Ezien leaned just enough to see past him.
That is not good.
Aluin's voice tightened.
Back. Now.
For a brief, beautiful moment, someone wondered whether the animated armor and the dust creatures could be encouraged to resolve one another. The party left a door open. The possibilities were considered. Perhaps ancient dwarven training constructs would attack elemental intruders. Perhaps the dust creatures would swarm the armor. Perhaps Talhundereth would become, for once, self-cleaning. It did not. The armor remained bound to its drill. The dust creatures remained within their stormed chamber. Talhundereth's dangers were not a mob. They were compartments of purpose. Separate teeth in the same buried jaw. Eventually the armor reset, speaking more dwarvish no one understood, and returned to its place. Sariel watched it go.
We need a translator.
We need several.
Ezien said.
We need Gundren.
Still seeking a path, the party approached a rubble-choked passage. Sariel cast fine traps, because by now suspicion had become less a habit than a world view. The magic reported no trap.
That does not comfort me.
Sariel said.
It should.
Ezien replied.
It never has.
The stones moved. Two figures rose from the rubble. Not statues, not ordinary boulders. Rock-bodied beings unfolded from the collapsed passage, dense and patient, as though the mountain had grown hands and decided to object. Their voices came in common.
Turn back.
Sariel lifted both hands, palms open.
We mean no harm.
Turn back.
May we speak with you?
Turn back.
Who commands you?
Turn back.
Aluin studied them.
That sounds wrong.
The voice?
Rowan asked.
The words,
She said.
like they are being made to say them.
Taven stepped slightly forward.
Will you fight us if we continue?
The rock guardians stared.
Turn back.
Sariel's expression darkened.
They are guards, but not speakers.
Ezien looked past them toward the blocked way.
If there are guards, there is something beyond them.
Yes.
Sariel said.
And if we force passage now, there may soon be nothing beyond us.
No one liked retreat, but for once no one could deny the wisdom of it. They withdrew, the entrance to Talhundereth sealed behind them with the slow, grinding certainty of old stone returning to secrecy. Outside, night had settled over the mountainside. The air felt vast after the temple's corridors. The sky was open, the wind cold, the stars indifferent. It was almost enough to feel safe. Almost. They made camp on a nearby rise from which they could watch the hidden door. No fire, no songs, no easy sleep. Watches were arranged carefully.
Taven should not watch alone.
Sariel said. Taven gave him a flat look.
I am standing here.
Yes,
Sariel said.
that is part of the concern.
Earlier, Taven had searched within himself for the pull of the stone. No voice had answered. No command had slid beneath his thoughts. Velanthi's water still seemed to dull the danger, to place a thin veil between him and the compulsion that had nearly taken him before. But silence was not freedom. Silence was only silence. They watched the door. Several hours into the night, it opened. Two figures emerged from Talhundereth. Robed, masked, winged, they moved into the open air with wary purpose. They did not march straight toward the camp. They searched. They scanned the ridges and stones, circling outward as if they knew someone had been nearby, but not precisely where. Their wings marked them kin in appearance to Falfark, though what corruption had shaped them, and what, if anything, they served remained uncertain. Tywin took to the air. Against the night sky, he became a dark shape above darker stone. He followed them from above, trying to remain only a passing shadow. They moved toward the rise, then away, then back again, sweeping the land. Below, Ezien whispered,
We should wake the others.
Sariel's eyes narrowed.
Not yet.
Then Tywin, with all the stealth of a bird that had just remembered it was being watched, cried out.
Squaw!
The figures stopped. They looked up. Ezien closed his eyes.
That is not what bats sound like.
It is what danger sounds like.
Sariel said. The camp stirred. Weapons came to hand. Sariel rose, saw the figures in the moonlit dark, and allowed himself the grim satisfaction of a man whose paranoia had just been vindicated.
I told you.
He said. Then he hurled a bolt of divine light into the night. The hillside erupted. The robed figures answered with green magic, their wings lifting them from the ground. Radiance flashed across stone. Shadows jerked and fled. One figure reeled beneath Sariel's opening strike, bright enough for everyone to see. The other rose higher, scanning, calculating, trying to understand how many enemies waited in the dark.
They fly now!
Ezien shouted. Tywin, already airborne, shouted back,
Apparently everyone does. This used to be special.
Aelwyn stepped forward, eyes fixed on the winged figures. Dust stirred around her boots. The memory of the chamber below, the little storm creatures, the grit goblins, the whirling spite, sharpened into an idea. She spoke to the elements. The air answered in dry, rasping laughter. 4 dust mephits snapped into being, all claws, wings, and malicious little faces. They spun in the air like insults made of dirt. Ezien stared.
Those look like the things inside.
Aelwyn's mouth tightened.
Good.
Sariel glanced at her.
You summoned the enemy.
I summon mine.
The mephits looked to her, twitching with eager cruelty. Aelwyn pointed at the robed figures.
Attack!
They attacked. The night became a storm of wings. The mephits swarmed one figure, clawing and tearing, trying to drag him from the air. Green magic flashed in answer. One mephit burst apart in a choking cloud of dust, dying exactly as unpleasantly as it had lived. Ezien reached for rope. Tywin saw it.
No,
He is flying.
no,
The rope has to work eventually.
that is not how rope works.
Ezien threw it anyway. It did not work. Rowan pushed forward below, hammer in hand, watching for the moment one of the winged figures dipped low enough to punish. Sariel cast light and judgment in roughly equal measure. Aelwyn directed her mephits, changing their command from simple attack to restraint.
Bring him down!
She called.
Hold him!
The mephits swarmed tighter. For a moment, one of the robed figures was caught amid them, wings beating, robes snapping, mask turned toward the temple door.
He is trying to run.
Tywin shouted. That clarified everything. They could not allow warning to return to Tal Hundereth. Tywin streaked toward the entrance, placing himself between the fleeing figure and the sealed stone. The robed scout dove, then veered, then found the way blocked. Rowan and Sariel pressed the attack. Aelwyn loosed an arrow into the dark. Ezien chased, breathless and indignant, still somehow committed to the idea that a grappling hook was one good roll away from solving flight as a concept. One scout fell before reaching the door. The second fought on, vicious now. He struck Tywin in the air with brutal force, and for a moment the night seemed to tilt around them both. Wings beat against wings. Dust mephits circled. Green light flashed. Sacred fire answered. Tywin drove himself forward again, refusing to drop. Sariel called from below.
Hold, Tywin!
I am holding.
Tywin snapped. Ezien looked up.
You are mostly being hit.
I am aware.
The mephits swarmed one final time. Claws found cloth. Arrows and radiant force found flesh. The robed figure faltered, wings spasming, and then the fight went out of him. He fell into the dark and did not rise. Silence returned, broken only by breathing and the settling of dust. The party stood beneath the stars with 3 dead robed figures now counted in their wake. Falfark inside, and 2 searchers outside. They stripped the bodies of robes and masks, adding the garments to their growing collection of terrible options. Azien held one up.
3 disguises.
Sariel looked toward the temple door.
3 lies.
Lies are useful.
Lies are dangerous.
Most useful things are.
Rowan glanced toward the bodies.
Move them.
They dragged the corpses away from the entrance and hid them in the brush. Not well enough to fool the gods, perhaps, but well enough to keep the clearing from immediately announcing slaughter to the next patrol. Then, because exhaustion finally outweighed dread, they returned to camp. The same overlook, the same view of the door. No one liked this. Everyone liked it better than sleeping inside. The remaining watches passed without another opening of stone. No more figures emerged, no guardians climbed the slope, no dust cloud rolled from the mountain. At last, dawn touched the ridges, and the party woke beneath pale light, restored but not reassured. Below them, Talhundereth remained closed. Within waited the training hall and its dwarvish commands, the dust chamber and its storming little horrors, the stone guardians and their unnatural warning, the immovable axe, the cold quarters, the goat bones, the masks, the children of the stone, the deeper path. Turn back, the guardians had said. The party had obeyed. For one night.